Yeah, definitely, man. Netflix getting old, man.
Hmm.
Woo-wee. All right, well,
HBO.
so welcome to this episode of Contracts. Contracts, read them or not read them. You know, I have no idea why you would sign a contract and then not read it or know what the heck you're signing. You can be sitting up there signing your life away, and then there you go with the magic three fingers that you got one pointing at everybody at this person, but it's three pointing back at you because you didn't read. You have to read your contracts. Um, Contracts are legal binding documents. I don't care if you have a contract with your friend; it is still a legal binding contract. You know, has some real life situations here, man. Like, had somebody sign to the company, and then they decide that, okay, well, I don't want to do this no more. So they go to another contract, kind of similar to the Megan Thee Stallion situation, but it's all about, man. It's all about reading that wordage, man, because like I said, it's a legal binding contract. It's not just we gonna hop out when we feel like it. How would you like it if if you sign, matter of fact, it's just like a relationship. You get married, you sign that document, y'all are married, legal binding document, right? Then you go out and then you go and get somebody else, think the grass is green on the other side, and then you end up coming back to that same person that you cheated on. You know what I mean? It's kind of it's a weird situation, but all in all, it's no excuses of why you couldn't have a lawyer look over your contract, go over it with you. There's so many free resources out here for attorneys. I even had somebody ask me. They said, "Well, why aren't you using those free attorneys?" I did use those free attorneys when I couldn't afford an attorney, but now that I have a one-on-one relationship with my attorney, and there's a we pay monthly. You know what I'm saying, this is kind of like in The Godfather. You have your concierge. I got my concierge. I think that's how you said concierge. But I
Troy asked, "What did you think about Megan's contract?"
oh, what I think about Megan's contract. I think she had a contract and she signed a contract among friends, just like she stated.
Mhm.
And what she did was she was like, okay, well, y'all got these songs, so I'm gonna go over here and work with these people real quick, see what they could do for me. Not knowing that in that contract, that was a contract was binding her for a certain amount of years. You got to see if that contract has a certain amount of years in it. What's the terms? Is it the years? And then how many albums did they have in there that she has to, produce, put out before that contract is up? It's kind of like 50 Cent album. That's why 50 Cent put out so many albums one year. He was like, man, I wanted to get out my contract. So I pushed all of the albums I could. I stayed in the studio, grinded, got it all out. I fulfilled my obligations. So therefore, he had it out. But then you still have to communicate with that record label. He communicated with the record label and said, okay, here's all of my projects. Boom. Look, I'm out the situation, So he had a reason to. And he's a smart businessman. So he had his attorneys, get involved, and he knew what he was signing. So therefore, you know what you're signing, you know what you're getting into. Go ahead, do what you got to do, and get out. If it's not a good deal, but don't sit up there and have a contract with somebody and then go over to the other side thinking that, okay, well, we gonna get all these out. So you said what? It was 4 albums. Yeah, 4 albums. Not 4 singles. 4 albums. So if she didn't fulfill those 4 albums, she didn't fulfill her contract. You know what I mean? And the other team, they did get her boosted up a little bit more or whatever. 300 did take care of her and all that stuff. So they did their thing. But at the same time, you still got this contract over here. You can't be a contract hopper. You know, because you sit up there and be a contract hopper, and then you want to get mad at the other people because they like, hey, you know, you still signed to us, so we got to get a piece of that. And that's literally how it works. You know, if you're signed to somebody and you didn't fulfill that obligation, they got to get that money. Sure, they got to get that money back that they put into you too. You know, it's not just I'm gonna sit up here and just let you just do what you want to do while we suffer, and then you're not even doing anything on our part to honor your contract. You get what I'm saying? So, so I think it should be, yeah, definitely. That's what I'm talking about. It should be a renegotiation after the first album. If it did like platinum or it, you know, you got to come in there with something to negotiate. So if say if the first album didn't do that good, you know, you still got to recoup. Because like honestly, when you get into a record deal, and you probably don't end up recouping until like that second going into the third album. That's just like the hard facts of it. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about all the marketing dollars, all this flashing that these artists are doing. They're going out here buying all these Lamborghinis and all of that stuff. All of that is being counted against their royalties. So the further you dig yourself in the hole, the stronger you got to come, man. So you know, that's the whole situation with that. But yeah, definitely, man. But that communication, you know, you got to sit down and communicate and just be like, hey, look, um, I want to see how I can get out of this situation because you don't have, you know, as an artist you don't have to sit up there and tell them that you going got a deal or whatever, but you could say like, hey, look, you could talk to the other label and say, hey, I'm still in the contract with this label, and you know, I want to talk to them first, get that situated, get that squared away, and then see what we can do together as well. You know what I mean? So once they get everything together, and then you got all parties involved, now we all can sit down and have a conversation, and they'd be like, oh, okay, well, she got 3 albums off of there. How about I buy her out of those 3 albums? I buy her out of those 3 albums, and then now, you know, you got some leverage. You know, now they got their money, they satisfied. You don't have to worry about no lawsuits or worried about not being able to release no music. Because another thing too, like these record labels, man, they they having that contract where they own that name.
Yep.
So that's why if you ever see an artist that switch their name up and go to another label or something like that, that's probably one of the reasons that label still owns that name. You know, so you know, I wish I could like go into depth, like into some of the contracts that we have with some of the people that's with major labels, but I cannot disclose that information. But I will say that those labels they own the trademark of that name. So when you get into your deal, if this is the name that you're going with, trademark it, it's yours. Now you and your company owns it and do a joint venture deal. Now you have a joint venture with this major label. Now you become an indie major that you had that major backing, you know, while you stand alone as an independent label. You see what I'm saying? Kind of like how 300 and all of those guys are, Empire, all of them, you know, they're indie majors. Let me see here. That should be that should have been in the contract some type of exit where the contract can be voided. That's what
And see,
Mob
that's
Deep did.
yeah, Troy is right. And see, that's the whole point. People not even reading the contracts. They're not reading
Exactly.
the contracts. They're not filling out the split sheets right. They
Hmm.
don't know where the percentage is coming from, and then they get mad. I mean, look, that goes to anything in life. Your car, your house, you got to read them contracts, man, because you have to understand. Like, it's not about just understanding the basic intricacies of what's going on, but you have to find out what your exit strategy would be. Not saying think negative, but I mean, look, you got to have an exit strategy. But if you don't know that it's there, they're not going to say anything. They're like, look, we got you locked in. So
Hmm.
that's why it's so important to number one, fill it out the right way and know what you're getting. So you can plan an exit strategy. I know people who are attorneys and stuff like that, and the most important thing about them contracts is that exit strategy. Like, well, if something goes wrong, what can I do? So you
Hmm.
have to you have to understand those things. Like, when you're reading these contracts, and especially when you signing your name on it. Because like Courtney said, you sign your name on it, that's legally binding. That's a wrap. You can't double back and be like, all right, well, this person did this. No, is this your signature? I
Yeah.
mean, it is what it is.
And it's plain as day in the contract. It say if all the obligations are not uh are not fulfilled, I can now sue you within this state of, it's all in there.
Yep.
You just got to read the thing, and then, once you start reading, what you can take out, what to put in. And then if it don't work for you, hey, don't do the deal at all. You see what I'm saying? So yeah,
And
man.
make sure y'all copywriting stuff the right way, man. Just because you got that, you got the contract and stuff. Make sure you got the contract and the split sheets, please. People think it's the same as a copyright. No, it's not. But the split sheet is the federal copyright registration together that'll give you solid proof of your copyright interest to the song. So you definitely want to use them together. They both need to be used in tandem. So make sure you guys are doing both. Let's see what Troy said. Mobb Deep had to get a distribution deal to get their contract water. Oof. With G Unit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Oh man,
that's interesting.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah, sheesh.
Contract water. So Troy, did somebody buy Mobb Deep out at that time?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, I don't know, somebody like bought them out or what situation with that.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah, I never knew that, man. I'm definitely gonna look into it though.
Look into that. That's I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But back to the contracts and the split sheets. As far as the split sheets portion of it, everybody think there's going to be like an exact split sheet, one size fit all. Split sheet is going to be determined based on the situation. But make sure you guys got a nice split sheet, nice contracts. I'm talking about attorney proof, all of that. It's a lot of resources online, but just make sure you do your due diligence when you're trying to find this stuff. And speaking of split sheets, after we get off this live, we if you email us, and I'm gonna throw the email in the chat, and you guys need an example of a split sheet or a blank split sheet, we got you. For all the people who, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all do have it, but just in case you don't, you just get started. We'll give you a split sheet, and that can be something you, like I said, do your own due diligence. If there's something specific that you need, make sure you look over it and talk to your attorney and all that good stuff. But we're gonna look out for you. The email is in the chat if you need it.
Yeah, and then speaking of attorneys, man, a lot of artists that get consultations and then they sign with people, they always want to be like, well, let me use your lawyer. That's not a good thing at all. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a record label. I'm a music publisher, but I would not recommend having the same lawyer as the dealings that's going in, because like what sense does that make? Because like my attorney's gonna look out for my best interest. You know what I mean? And then by you coming in and then say I gotta sue you, she's going to go with the person that's she's gonna have whoever's back that she has the longest relationship with, the that she has history with and knows. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy, man. You do not want to have the same.
Said, make sure the contracts fit in your favor. Facts.
Definitely.
Facts. And
Yep, exactly. Conflict of interest. Yep, conflict of interest. That's the word I was looking for. That's why I kept rambling. I'm like, hold on, what is it? Conflict of interest. Thank you, T. But yeah, and like even when you do like going into the publishing now, publishers, they normally do contracts with you. It's 3 different kinds. You can do a co-publishing deal, you can do an admin deal, or you know what I'm saying, or you can just do a full-on hookup, man. But like even with that, you got to know the difference between those contracts. The first 2 contracts in the publishing deal, those are ownership. So if you don't want that publisher owning anything, The easiest deal to have is when you get with a music publisher is an admin deal. You keep your copyright ownership, and you just give away a percentage anywhere from like 10. Well, now I think it's now it's 15 to 20%, but it used to be anywhere from 10 to 20%, and sometimes even 25%, depending on the publisher. So, make sure you know about that. Read those contracts. Read your terms, because like all of those terms are in there for a reason. You got to out within a year, and then it states in there how you can get out as well. A 60-day notice, not just get up and walk away like whenever you feel like it. Because like at that time I could sue you, and then you get sued, and then now you want to be like, oh man, say you're gonna do me like that. No, it's in the contract. You got to do things right. Honor your contracts. Don't go into them if you're not going to honor them.
And see, that's another thing. People, I know Troy said something. How do you get an attorney? You don't have the money, or you just starting out? That's a good question.
Sure, I got you. And I actually put the link in. I got 3 links in the Music Profit Facebook group, right in the description. It's 3 links right there, man. Yeah, I used to use them. I don't anymore, because for the simple fact of I have an attorney now. So we have a strong relationship. We have years in the game, almost 10 years now. So I don't need the free one anymore. I need it more like, hey, it's midnight. What I'm saying? I may need to do a call or something. Be like, hey, look, I got this deal on the table in London. What can we do? Something like that. So, but yeah, man, it's free attorneys, free accountants. All of that stuff is free, man. And we giving you the information in the game for free. What I'm saying? It's free to us. So there you have it. You can get all of that. You can talk to them from anywhere from record deals to publishing, and even trademarking. They even have some trademark attorneys as well that volunteer their time, and you got them for free. Nothing, zero.
There you go.
And even if you're an actor, they handle all the arts. It's VLANY.org. It's VLANY.org, and VLAA.org as well. And then if you need contracts, they got musiccontracts.com, all of that stuff, man.
Oh yeah, the contract sites is getting out of hand. You can find that anywhere.
For real.
They getting out of hand. But make sure, like I said, make sure you do your due diligence. Don't just grab something from cheapcontract.com or whatever.
Exactly.
Make sure it's legit. Maybe go talk to one of those free attorneys that you already got the resources for, and be like, look, just take a look at this. I just want to make sure if it's legit. I can use it, and it's something I can use as far as a general contract usage. So
yeah, because the crazy thing is I found an error in one of the music contracts, and then sent it back over to them, and then they end up editing it, and sent me a letter and all this other stuff, and that's how we end up partnering up. But you gotta know what's on that paper in order to issue it to somebody too. So don't just be getting a contract offline and be like, hey, look, now you signed to me. You don't even know what's on the contract. So how you gonna post, stand up on something that you don't know nothing about?
Yep. Sure. So you're gonna bookmark them.
Okay. All right. Cool. And like I said, in the link, you can got the 3 resources right there, man. If you need them, they're there.
When it comes to those contract questions too, make sure you guys put it in the group.
Yeah.
So everybody can kind of see what it is, because there's always probably somebody else who has a similar issue. And then we can go ahead and, 9 times out of 10, Courtney will go ahead and answer it. So when an artist choose a stage name, they have to trademark that name, correct?
Yep. Yep. Trademark it, man. Because like, if something like say you got a whole bunch of other people. Matter of fact, one of my artists, they had the same name as like matter of fact, we use Bobby V, for example. Bobby V was going around as Bobby V for the longest, right? You know what I'm saying? So now he had to change his name, all because it was an artist in London that had Bobby V way before he did, had it trademarked. So now Bobby Valentino, has to use, he had to use a different name. So You know, that's the power of trademark, man. You actually have the power to be like, hey, look, you know, my name holds weight. You know, you got to change your name, partner.
And see the power, you got to understand the power of trademarking and copyrighting and all that. You forget about just not just the name. Think about things that people done trademark and made a fortune off of it. What's the
Hmm.
name? Delicious when she did that Bay thing.
Oh
And,
yeah.
and think
Yep.
about a lot of missed opportunities too. Think about Wayne and them when Bling Bling came out.
Oh man, that was the
I
worst.
seen an interview with them and he was talking about that's one of the things that he regretted was not trademarking that because people was using it now.
Yep.
So I mean
Yeah, and then
trademark yourself, man.
exactly, and then this is another thing. Like when you trademark, make sure you get all of the words, because like my man that owns Detroit versus everybody, he only got a portion of that trademark, and now everybody is using versus everybody. Now, if he would have just did versus everybody, if he would have trademarked that, they could, man, nobody could use that without his permission or without him getting a check for it. But he did Detroit versus everybody instead of the versus everybody, because that's the main part right there. Sure, the versus everybody, you know. So if you need to seal the whole thing, do Detroit versus everybody and versus everybody too. You know what I'm saying? And in the way that it's set up, you know, capture that whole thing.
And
And
see, I
like you
see a
said,
bunch of people using that versus everybody now. I see it everywhere.
oh man, it's
Everywhere.
everywhere. Shoot, man, because I remember somebody wanted to do like one of the Red Wings logo, and I talked to their attorney. It was for a project, and the Red Wings was like, "Nope, I don't care if you change one little piece of that. If it's in the form of this wing and this wheel, can't use it." I was like, "Golly." He was like, "That's our trademark." And it came with a nice little
You got to
price
be
if you
that
wanted to.
specific. You got to be
Got
that
to.
specific.
Yep.
Yeah, Troy said he think Johnny and Ralph own New Edition.
Um.
You mean the name
Uh,
or is that what you talking about, Troy?
man, I'm trying to think of that situation, because I remember talking to Johnny about that too, but I cannot remember. I just had a brain fart right now. But yeah, it's something like that, because like if you notice when it's kind of like in Vogue too. If you notice when they tour, it'd just be them two, or it'd be
Mm-hmm.
Bell Bill DeVoe. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But like far as like both of them, all of them coming together, I think it was something in between that. But yeah,
Yeah, that's interesting though.
yeah, man.
Johnny and Ralph, that's something.
Yeah, cause like well,
Yeah, that's
I
what he
think,
was saying.
oh Ralph, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. The whole key to all of this stuff is ownership. Own your masters, own your name, own your own company. That way you stay in control of everything, and you have leverage when you start making moves. You know, because everybody wants to have all this power when they come right off the street and don't have nothing to leverage or negotiate with. You know, you have to have that, man, and you have to know what you want and what you're looking for, because you get to signing all these contracts and then you be stuck in the contract for 20 years and don't even know it. Like Sly and the Family Stone, they signed them. Who else was it? P Funk, all of them. Shoot, man. Basically, all the other members, man, they almost signed all of their royalties away except for one of them, and he's
Mm.
doing really good right now. He's living over there in Canada, chilling. And Sly just not getting his what did he get, like 5 million a couple years ago?
Mm.
All the royalties just sitting back there, all because friendship, friendship, and then contracts, and not knowing what was on the contracts because they trust the friendship. But whoever
Yeah.
put those contracts together was in the best interest of whoever was partnered with who made the decisions on the contract. They're like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna look out for my man. This is gonna be what's on here. If they don't read it, that is up to them.
And see, that's when Troy brought up a good point earlier when he said that you have to make sure that your contract benefits you.
Yeah,
You have to, man. Like I mean, you never know how long these royalties are gonna last. They could last a long time. Look at the guy, what was Sir Mix-a-Lot?
yeah,
That boy said he made like $100 million off that one song.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe got back. Since what that song come out like 80 something, 100 million?
Yeah.
Crazy. He's still
Yeah.
living good. So you have to make sure that stuff is in place contract wise the first time because your song could be one of them songs 20, 30 years from now still bumping. So
Exactly.
yep, Michael Jackson owned their publishing at one point.
Yeah. Yeah. He sure did. Yep. 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 And
Massive, man. Well,
Michael Jackson was up on game like so before everybody was, man. He owned the he owned the Beatles publishing and all kind of stuff, man. And there's another example of ownership. So Paul McCartney went for years trying to get trying to get that stuff back from Michael Jackson, but couldn't get
the
it.
choice is there, and he's still getting paid. You got that right.
Still getting
100
paid.
million. He said they had an interview with him. He said, "Yeah, I'm still getting money off of it." I'm
Hmm.
telling you, you just never know. And that's just one song. You know, he probably making a couple of bucks off other songs, but that was the main song. He had his contract set up like, look, I'm about to collect checks for a while. What like 80 something? Man, look,
Man, for real.
better start
So
reading these contracts.
for real, man, because like Carl Carlton, he had that Bad Mama Jamma.
Yeah, that's another
So
one.
he don't even own that song. So everybody's getting paid but him. Every single person, the label to the writers, all because of knowledge.
Man.
Crazy.
But Michael Jackson owns a lot of Family Stone and Little Richard and James Bond theme songs.
Hmm. Yep. And his kids are like I said, man, in the other episodes and stuff, man, like that ownership is everything, man, because your music is gonna outlive you.
Yep.
So all of his kids, his sister, and all of them, whoever is all in his estate, man, they they eating good for a long time, man. Because I remember we tried to get a sample even from Jermaine for one of his songs, man. Jermaine wanted like 20,000 just for I think it was like 5 or 6 seconds that we wanted of the song.
Mm.
$20,000. When you own it, you can set your price. If somebody want
Yep.
to pay it, those are your rental properties. Your songs are your rental properties.
Facts.
Lease them boys out.
Those samples, man. As much as people sample nowadays, you can. I mean, just sampling alone.
Yeah.
And you own that masters, man. You can do what you want with it. I remember
Yep.
Pharrell had just got sued for something sounding like that song he got with Robin Thicke and all them.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That when you own stuff, man, I'm telling you, what I think he got broke off too, like 7 million or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's how
Mm-hmm.
important it is to have your stuff, squared away. Like, oh, that's mine. You got to pay me.
Well,
So, um,
yeah. Oh, and this another thing too. Like as far as like the contract, like some people like the contract hop because they feel like something isn't moving the way it's supposed to be moving. But at the same time, you got to look and sit back and think like, am I doing everything that this person just am I doing everything that this person just told me that I needed to do to get to them so they could do their job the right way? Because a lot of these people, man, they'll sit back and just be like, hey, y'all do that and don't do none of the work. And then now, I'm steadily, constantly asking, hey, I need the split sheets. I need this. I need that. Oh no, I don't need no split sheets, man. That's my boy. That's my boy. You know what I'm saying? We good. We good. And then 2 years later, the song may not be making that much money, but then somebody then got some knowledge from somebody else and like, hey, yo, these splits is wrong. I need this percentage. And then we go back to be like, okay, well, what's on the split sheets? Oh, I don't have no split sheets, man. My man just told me, just throw him down for like 10, 15%, man, and he was cool with it. No, it ain't no cool with it, man. You gotta have that stuff on paper. Got to have it on paper.
he
What are
said,
your
"What's your
thoughts?
that TuneCore?
Man,
TuneCore."
TuneCore, TuneCore Publishing, run. Don't do it. Like I've met with Jeff, and Jeff used to own TuneCore, and like, man, like no, I wouldn't do that because like this is the main thing about TuneCore Publishing is they're doing the same things that you could do. It's free. All they're doing is registering your song on on the platform, of BMI, ASCAP, CSAC, whoever you're with, and then what they do is just sit on your songs, and then preferably it pops and they get a cut off of it. It's as simple as that. It's huh? Go ahead.
Let me say this. So when it comes to like publishing and stuff like that, and people feel like they have to go to, and I'm not saying TuneCore is bad, but you just chill with the TuneCore thing. But when it comes to like publishing and stuff like that, things that you feel like you're not educated enough to do, or you feel like you maybe do it wrong, make sure you get educated, because I'm gonna tell you what education is going to do. Not only is it going to teach you how to do it, but that doesn't mean you necessarily have to do it. You can still get a publicist, but now you know what to look for. You see what I'm saying? So if you just, once you get the education, no matter what contract comes, even if you're not doing it, like, okay, this something is on up with this. Let me go ahead and check this out. So I mean, that's what it's all about. You don't have to, because even if you jump to TuneCore and they do something that you don't like, you don't know until it's all over, and then you're doubling back. And we had an episode before complaining. I'm like, look, read these contracts, man. Like, that when you fill out these split sheets, once you fill out with whoever you're working with, do you send a copy to your PRO? That's what Troy asked. Do you send a copy to your PRO? The split sheet.
No. You keep that split sheet. You keep that split sheet on file with yourself and within your archive, and then you put those same splits into your PRO when you register the song. So that way, that covers you on paper, on the legal binding document, because everybody got to sign off on it. And then once it's put into the system, like, somebody could be like, man, no, man, I said I wanted 20%. No, brother, you signed off on 10% right here on the split sheet. That's why it's put into the works registration, just like that. And back to the reading of the contracts, like the bad thing about, well, I won't say bad thing, but if you know, and if you read that contract with TuneCore Publishing, like, if you don't, because I've had this happen to about 5 of my songwriters, where they signed a deal with them, and then they came to me to get them out of the situation, but the only way they could get out is they had to wait a whole another 12 months because they had missed the deadline of, because like it had an out in there, but if it wasn't done within 3 days of this out date, you got to wait a whole another 12 months to get out of that contract. I'm with TuneCore Song Trust. I removed most of my songs I have registered with them. Well, Song Trust is pretty dope though. Song Trust is kind of like Audium. They'll go after like those mechanical royalties and different royalties out there. They charge $100, per song, but man, if you got some traction and you putting the work in to get that money out there, to get that music out there, and then you got some money coming in, you being paid that $100 off with no time.
Said, is it good to upload the split sheet in your cloud or Google Drive?
Yep.
I don't see why not. All you're doing is storing it, man. That's your little file cabinet. So yeah, put it up in there.
Yep.
Put it up in there.
And I would recommend to all artists, have you a organized folder in the cloud or Google Drive, because like, say if somebody needs something real quick, and you out at the mall with your son or daughter or with your sister and brother or something like that, and you got an important opportunity that comes up. They need your high-res picture, they need your instrumental, they need the splits or something like that. You got it right there on your phone. Boom. Now you just email it to them instead of having to wrap everybody up, find this person, see what store they went into, so you can hurry up and get back home, so you don't lose $10,000. You see what I'm saying? Be organized. Be organized.
Like I tell people all the time, man, I know y'all got a lot of apps on your phone. Make room for that Google Drive, man, or iCloud or whatever you have. Because my brother used to call me about needing some musical film. They were like, look, we in the room right now, we need something. And if I'm 2 hours from the crib, bro, yeah, put that Google Drive is, or iCloud or whatever you have. I got both, so it's just like I had removed my music with. Troy was saying he removed his music with
from TuneCore.
He's rocking with Song Trust.
Gotcha. Yeah, man. Song Trust is that deal, man. I love them, man. Them and Audium. And Audium is owned by Jeff too, which is Jeff is like the former owner of TuneCore, you know. But as all CEOs and all of that stuff, the board came in, booted him out, changed the whole business model, and it just like I don't know, man. It just
Troy said, I told publishing and real estate are like cousins. You got that right. They're more
man,
like brothers.
for real,
They're more like brothers.
for
You got
real.
rental properties, you got buying holds, you got fix and flips, you got all that. You
Mm-hmm.
got all that. You just got to know how to work it, man.
Yeah, man.
Contract. The music is the least of it, man. The music is just the music, so that's light work. The business part, you can
Yep,
have. Hey, look, you can have a whole proverbial real estate company
man,
musically. You know what I mean? So
for
gotta learn
real.
the business. Like I told you, I know a lot of no disrespect, but a lot of dudes that musically are not whatever, but they business is so crazy, killing them,
Yeah, for real.
learning a
It,
lot.
man, and the crazy thing is like there's no limit to how many times you could license out your song, man. Because like licensing is like I want to say I think they said it was like a $30 billion industry right now.
Licensing is
You know,
crazy.
from licensing a logo, all of that stuff. Yep, go ahead.
We're gonna do another training another day, maybe later on.
Mhm.
But licensing, I'm really gonna go in. Like
Yeah, man.
y'all can be out here really making some moves. I'm talking about people be like, well, licensing music, TV. I'm talking about music, TV, video games, um, motivational speakers. I'm talking about everything. So
Yeah,
that's another day, another dollar. We'll chop that up.
yeah, yeah,
It's a whole nother world, man. It's a whole nother world.
yeah. Yeah. Shoot, man. Like I said, it's either read and be knowledgeable about your contracts and excel and be able to have the power to do whatever you need to do. What's going on, James? Had the power in your hand. You know what I'm saying? Always know what to do. And how you do that is you read, study, and know your market, know your business pretty much. So, you know what I'm saying? Because if you don't read your contracts, you're gonna start blaming people when you're really blaming yourself and you just mad at everybody else because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. So just save yourself the headache, save yourself all the not work, you know, I mean, all the, you know, so just save yourself some time and headache, man, by just reading the stuff, man. Get with an attorney. I gave you some free attorneys that go over your contracts. They'll do, you know, they pretty much give you the whole rundown, man. You send them the contracts, you talk to them you, over the phone, you do emails, all of this stuff. So, you know, main thing is, man, just read your contracts and stop contract hopping. Honor your contracts.
Yep, yep. This your real estate, man. You're not about to, you got to do what you got to do. Somebody asked me a couple days ago about split sheet, and they
Mhm.
were saying like, is it another way or is that they don't know? It's not. That's it. You got to. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know if he's up here right now. Shout out, you know who you are. But um, without that signed split sheet, man, you got to make sure that's the contribution from everybody, producers, songwriters, and that's risk of receiving. That causes risk to receive less ownership than they assume. So you want to
hmm
make sure that that's done. Um,
yeah,
Thank you for this.
and
They're very much needed. What's up, James? Shout out to James.
yeah, James, no problem, man. Appreciate you, brother, for listening, man. Like the split sheets are so important too because like you need them everywhere you go into this music industry, man. Everywhere you turn, you're going to need them. Like if you looking to get into music licensing and stuff like that, you gotta have proof. Cause like one of the main things that happens when with hip hop music is they man they I don't know, I have no idea why hip hop is just like such, you know, against doing split sheets, but like a lot of music supervisors when I did a conference, they were saying like they hate dealing with hip hop music because like one person ended up getting this song, it was perfect for the scene, got it, put it out there, and then had a notice of intent to, I mean, not a notice of intent, but what do they call it when the lawyer sends a cease and desist order. So they had to take that song out of there. So now the music, I mean the now they sued the movie people, and then now the movie people are coming after the artists in that label because they didn't have their clearances and they didn't have the split sheets. They didn't have the splits right. So, you know, do those things, man. They're needed for a reason. They're there for a reason. Everybody likes to skip steps. Everybody want to make it to heaven, but don't want to die. You
Yeah,
know,
it's I mean, it's accountability for everybody, man. I'm gonna get
everybody.
this percentage. I'm gonna get this percentage. It's real simple. Troy said, "What about digital split sheets?" I don't know how you feel about digital split sheets. I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm good with them too.
they got sites that help you with do they understand the importance of split sheets? I mean, a lot of people just want to kind of go with the motions and give you some type of verbal situation. No, I need mine on black and white.
Square business.
We should all be. No, we black and white or we nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And like you were saying, Troy, digital split sheets is fine. There's a couple of sites that'll help you out with the digital ones if you want that too. You could do them yourself. Create digital ones are based off where you scan them in and create them yourself. But there's other sites that do it. But I mean, I don't want you guys out there spending a bunch of money when you can do it yourself. But if
Yeah,
you do,
yeah,
there are ones out there. I think it's like songsplits.com or some crap like that. But it's ones out there that'll help you with that type of stuff. But
yeah.
yeah, digital, not digital, as long as it's black and white, just don't have them coming to you like, well, we got this type of agreement. No, we need this. I want to make sure we got a split sheet and I'm gonna have a copy of it so it's no confusion.
Yeah.
Zero.
For real, for real. And it's a free app called Adobe Filling Sign. I use that all the time with my split sheets. I put everybody's information in there. You can type it in there, and then you can email it to everybody. They can sign off on it. Boom. You got it all right there. Everybody's signature, and everybody has a copy.
Yep. And see, that's the
Simple as
beauty.
that.
And Troy, you brought up a good thing about those digital split sheets. You could send it as if they were signing an insurance contract. You send it through e-signature. Send them a digital. Like, look, go ahead, sign this. Boom, you get it back. Now you got it on. Now you got that on your Google Drive. So you
Yeah.
got all the information you need just in case something pop off while you're not, you're not close to your computer. Be like, oh, this dude tripping. Let me go and check this. Now the split sheet say, so you just want to make sure that you got all that stuff in hand, and have it in multiple places to where you can access it. And say,
Mm-hmm.
not only if something go wrong, but if something go right, you might got a check on the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Square
that's
business.
what we're here for, right? That bag. So
Yeah.
think about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Is any more questions?
Anybody got any questions? Troy always taking over. Troy, look,
Yeah, man.
Troy, you can't be taking over every show, man. Shout out Troy, man.
Yeah, man. That's what's up. Yeah. But yeah, man, y'all have a great rest of your Monday, and man, hit us up. Make sure y'all join our Facebook group, Music and Profits. Make sure y'all listen to our podcast, Music and Profits. You know, that's our goal, man. We taking this music and showing you how to make profits off of it, man. So much money out there, so much money being left on the table. So we gonna make sure you get all of it and not be the underdog no more. Because all the underdog is just the person that's getting what's left over from the big dog. What they just left on the table thought it was nothing, but now you got the whole meal and taking everything, man, and just going off with it.
Facts.
So we gonna get you there. So y'all continue to stick with us, man. Music and Profits, we out. Chat.
Yep.